here. Look at that. That's what Flutter's good for.
Boom. All right. First off, two things unrelated to this interview. I was trying to make my hair stick up because I put hairspray in my hair, and I was trying to make it stick up the whole time, like this, but it just keeps falling down.
You don't want like the something about Mary a little bit though.
Right. Anyway, so that's what I was trying to do. Just gonna have some awkward hair, I guess.
I like your hair. It looks good. As one, you're a good looking guy.
Thank you. You too. Even though I don't know what you look like except for your cat and Folger and Henry.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So I like your cat.
Them all together.
I have an orange cat, so yeah.
That's Charles. And then I have Gemini, which I call when I RP. That was Princess BB.
Gotcha. From what I hear, most orange cats are male, and my orange cat is female. But I only know female orange cats, so there you go.
I thought that that they were. It was uncommon for them to be female.
That's what people
or
tell
maybe
me.
that's Calico. No, that's Calico.
Oh.
They're uncommon to be male. They're mostly female. I don't know anything about cats, I guess.
Aitro. I'm not high mystical. I'm not saying who's on the interview list because last time I said a bunch of things and then I didn't interview them and I felt really bad. So, good people, honest, fun-loving, decent souls. Second thing, by the way, I was thinking about this earlier, not related to the interview, but you know that thing that shows up what?
I'm reading chat. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know what that means. But you know the thing that shows up when I start streaming and like when other people start streaming? I just put in something stupid that I was like, it doesn't matter. Nobody's got alerts on. I mean, a couple people have alerts on, clearly, because you show up. But a lot of people don't. So I was like, this will be funny. And then I imagine it in my head every time when I start the stream. There's an R. It's not huh. It's her. There's an R. That's the noise I'm thinking in my head. Every time I start the stream, I'm going her. So now you know. Anyway.
I'll that's in my mind now. Every time I see that,
yes. Now you know what it sounds like. These are interviews that I'm doing of random people who I think have probably good stuff to say about RP or can show others that we all don't know what we're doing. And also don't generally have streams of their own. Because, if you don't have a stream, you don't have anywhere to say like, I like this, I don't like this. So that's why I'm focusing on people who don't stream. Anybody could do this. It's not just my idea. You're welcome. I mean, people interview people all the time. You're welcome to do it. I don't care. You can also just talk about yourself on your own stream because, I mean, people should do that, right? So, yeah. Ooh, I don't even have the questions open.
You're the OG interviewer, though.
No. I mean, there's
the dark side interviewer. That's your.
There's a million.
I told him about the talk show. He doesn't want to do a talk show.
No. Talk show seems scary. Then, what's cool is you're just making content, right? But at the same time, it's content you couldn't create on your own because you don't stream. So you're just doing it for me, and I don't have to do anything, which is cool.
I like to make other people laugh and happy. And that's just, let's do it through that. I don't know. I have content for others. I tried streaming, but it doesn't really.
No, it didn't appeal to you.
You don't want to listen to all the shit I have to say.
Okay.
You have general chat for that. Me talking about my cat smells like cookies and cream.
I guess, but I mean, there are some people who are like, that's good. I like that. So, banana. I don't know what that means.
That's our safe word.
Oh, right. That's a good point.
I picked it also because it's the most common safe word to say too, I guess. If you're into that.
Good to know. Now we all know. Um, speaking of the things you picked, um, I sort of know a little bit of your backstory, but they might not. So how did you create Folger?
I was thinking about this question because it's a hard one. Um, yeah, the start of the season, I had ideas for characters. I was like, I was gonna play this old man butler named Yer Amel, and then I made him, and I didn't like. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna play this annoying person named Kevin because that's kind of an annoying name, I guess. It's like Kevin McAllister or something. And I made him, and I didn't like it. I went back to the other one, and I went back and forth like 4 or 5 different times, and it was like 2 weeks into the season too. And finally, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make. I know it was actually well. I found that annoying NPC in Elder Scrolls Oblivion. If you ever played that, I didn't think you did, but um,
Not me.
yeah, it's the adoring fan. And you got him like after you like completed the arena, and he was this annoying kid that followed you around everywhere and said the most annoying things possible. And I was actually like in the beginning practicing some of his lines. He's like, "Oh, golly geezer, you want me to stand here or right here? How about over there?" And like I was gonna do like I'm gonna find the grand champion type of thing, and I would be like his squire. And I tried that out like at a free port. I was like, I'm looking for the grand champion. But I just didn't like it. I was like, this is kind of I don't want to be someone that's already something. But I had him modeled out just the same as Folger. Like if you look at the adoring fan and you look at Folger, it's pretty much very similar.
Okay.
So Folger, I based him off of the adoring fan, like he was a wood elf, and like the adoring fan was a bosmer, which is like the equivalent of a wood elf. But his wood elfness would be a combination of all the like lore I love, but mainly based in EverQuest because that's a lot of where like I draw my inspiration from. That and like a little bit of like The Hobbit or like Lord of the Rings. Like the high elves were kind of like the d bags because
Yeah.
they're all so special. Those high elves, they're all um, and then yeah, he was just like a wood elf, and then I was like, oh, I need some stupid name for him now. And I looked at wood elf names. I'm like, no, I don't know, Folger. I just saw it, and I was like, that coffee thing. And then also I was thinking of Rockapella. They did the "Where in the World Is Carmen San Diego" song,
Yeah.
and then they did the Folgers. They did the song in the '90s or whatever. They
Oh,
did the.
did not know
If you
that.
look at the commercial, yeah, they did they had a whole entire the song for the Folgers that they all like were singing outside of a coffee shop and stuff. So I'm like, it's gonna be Folger. And then Fooch, I don't know, just like something something stupid at the end.
So, another fun fact, I know that I'm now the one who keeps derailing this, but you sent me these pictures to put on here. I did not know that if you download pictures from Discord that people send you, you can see the original name of the file. And now I'm like, oh crap, I name all of my images like terrible, stupid junk that I think is funny. And I'm like, oh, dang. So, anyway,
You didn't see like well, the picture of me is named "Looks Like a
I
Jerk."
know that's what it
That's what I
says.
no, I know that's what I named it.
But that's so crazy because
Yeah,
I name
he looks like a jerk.
like I name all my junk. Um, like all the Pierre files are really stupidly named. Anyway, so heads up to
Yeah, all my
everyone.
stuff is the same.
I
Yeah,
just found
mine's
out.
like Rafton or '80s Raft or something like that.
Definitely, if I have any advice for anyone, it's take a ton of pictures because I didn't take them as Boxster and then I did this and I didn't have a whole lot of references and stuff. So as Pierre, I took a ton of pictures. You can always just delete them, right? Like it doesn't matter. But and also take them in the sunlight because no one can tell what your pictures are if it's not in the sunlight.
Yeah, I took pictures earlier, but then I formatted. I got in, like a solid state and transferred everything over, and I lost all that.
Great. Dang it.
But I saved. You know what I saved though? I saved the pictures of the pork chops from last season.
Oh man. Yeah, so it's really weird to hear Henry talk about Folger things. It's not quite Henry either, but it's very
Henry, yeah,
weird.
I wanted to play someone who wasn't as annoying as Henry, because
I
Henry was like basically like me, as my voice, but I was an asshole, and I didn't have a filter.
yeah.
Kind of like Folger in a sense, but
I know
Folger
and
doesn't know better.
so okay, I have this huge like page long idea that I've been working on and thinking on um concerning like you specifically and stuff, but I want to get to that later. And some of that like douchebaggery and stuff is in there as well. So let's hit some like more basic questions and then we can get into that because that's really what I want to talk about. But I mean,
I
you should also
swear,
get
I'm really nice in real life. It's just online I get to be a jerk.
well on that. What kind of characters do you like to play with and interact with and stuff?
I tend to play like, I guess, stupid characters, like loser type of characters. I don't really care much about being the winner. I don't. That's not like my goal in RP.
And the people that you or the characters that you play with, like meet up with and hang out with all the time and stuff.
No, not the same, clearly, but
Yeah.
I whoever, you guys were the only family that Folger could actually find at this in the season. So that's why I met up with you guys, because you
Yeah.
adopted me.
Well, like I know that Vivi for some reason like I know you just sort of met and then you just hung out there the whole time. And that was like your main RP from what we could see anyway. I know you did sail occasionally because the ships would move, but like is is Vivi and the Schooner Boys or the Soggy Boys like are those the kind of characters you like to like be around?
Um, it's a good question. Um, well, the problem with Folger is that he didn't towards the end of the season. As a kid, he wanted adult supervision with him. He didn't feel safe on the seas by himself, and it was kind of. And I did like solo sailing the most of the season. That's what I
Mhm.
did in a raft, on a raft, mind you. There and back again. I sailed like all those outer edges in a raft. It took, and when I say like it took, like sometimes it would take like 6 hours to cross 7 grids or something. I would be there on my computer, like I'd be kind of like out tabbed or something.
Yeah.
But you talked about Skippy. I asked you what Skippy did. You said he like sang and stuff. I'm like, how the heck
Yeah.
do you do that the whole time?
He's out there RPing and junk. Like,
Yeah, well, people stopped my raft like more. I never got stopped on my schooner
yeah.
once on my cat cafe. No one ever stopped it. People plenty of times stop my raft and be like, "What do you do? Like your little kid out here by himself?" And then the the best, like the cat cafe actually, not the cat cafe, but the cat house stopped me on my
Mhm.
raft, and I met Juicy Fox's character because she streams with her cat house. I forget her name, but I've never been to. I've still never been to a ladies' night.
Ah,
I always wanted to go.
missing
Even with
out.
Henry, I didn't go. I watched some of the streams and stuff. I was like, oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
But I did visit, but then I had that whole horrible thing that happened. I'm not sure if I get into that later. I don't know.
Okay, maybe.
I
um,
I totally forget where we were. I just
no,
my
it's
ball
cool.
bounces.
That is honestly what I expected. I didn't prepare super hard except for a couple of things for this interview because I'm pretty sure I can just like ask a question and we'll just go to some weird place and talk about some weird junk for a while and then I'll just come back. So I'm cool with that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. You're the moderator. You're the interviewee
Um,
interviewer.
So on Folger specifically, from what I can tell and from what you've said, you really like Folger. Um, and not that you didn't necessarily like Henry, but it seems like you connect more with Folger and stuff. Um, what do you think new people or people who feel like they're not good at RP or whatever, what do you think they should do to try and find that character that they really connect with and really like and really want to be?
Mm. Just like a SAT questions or just like a hard. See, I went into the season like prepared. Like I looked at the. I was trying to actually for a while join like No Pixel because I had played on a Grand Theft Auto server long time, like way before all this happened, like before like it was like the OG server I was on briefly. I had like the starting of like Shaggy and like all them and stuff. Um, and I later on I looked at like whitelist applications, looked like No Pixel. I like kind of like tried to formulate a character based off the application, and it was so hard for me to do to like make someone for me I without playing them in a game, and it's hard for me to I don't know. I just come up with a character. I just wing it basically. I will come up with like a basis of oh this is kind of what I'm gonna do. I have like a mental hit list of people I want to if I find their notices in the free port, I want to visit them and annoy them or something or just be like me. Um, but it just for me it was just like just coming up with the character just sort of on the spot because it was too much pressure like for me to um what was that word I'm looking for? Just to make the character based off of like an application or something. You just um yeah, what was the question now? You have to go
Tips for people who are trying to make characters that don't think they can or don't think they're good at it or just want
don't
to make a better character.
oh yeah, okay. Yeah, don't be so serious about it, I think. It's RP, you should be having fun with it. Unless you're gonna be like maybe later on experience you want to like do emotion. It's I think yesterday you were talking about how it's hard to do emotion through voice if you're imitating someone but maybe just don't even do a voice just be you for a while play like the most basic tip I think is just to play a loser character. Don't go in wanting to win. Don't be a pirate that you're after everything. Try the civilian life out, just yeah.
Gotcha. I did that. I started as a character who was basically me and basically had some single point that I was interested in. I didn't like it. Um so then I tried again and Boxster was sorry, I'm also messaging on Discord. Boxster was like originally sounded like me, and then all this like terrible stuff happened that made him who he is and what everyone realized or recognized him as. And then Pierre was the opposite because I needed to fit into an idea that someone else had. So I don't I don't know how people make good characters.
I
I've tried
think
a
that
bunch of different stuff and I don't know what it
um,
is.
if you like start off in the beginning just RPing, like just you're like an RP like yourself. But as you RP, you'll interact with other people that are, that are,
Mhm.
there'll be things that they like you that 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 oh God, I'm tripping on my own words. They that that you know they're doing something that you like and you would like to incorporate into your eventual RP character. Like
Yeah.
when I was on Henry, I enjoyed Shush's character, I enjoyed Skippy's character,
Yeah.
and I was like that was my you know a lot of inspiration for wanting to do a kid character because I was like, oh, it'd be fun to be kind of a growing up in the world, especially a wood elf who doesn't really know about this type of like world. He kind of like fell in, found like a wardrobe in a sense. I don't know, whatever it was. I think towards the end, Shrimpkin asked me like, "How'd you get here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I went through a wardrobe. There was a button. There was, there's all kinds of ways. You got to believe, though."
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-oh.
that's cool. And I mean, the Navy, those douchebags, they wouldn't even
Yeah,
take him.
the
So
Navy. They're a bunch of, Dad, you gotta go there and tell them they're a bunch of d bags, and my mom and my dad are there.
maybe we don't know. We never will know. Um. Okay. Yeah. The voice is gonna trip me up. Um. So you mentioned no pixel and stuff. Have you RP'd a lot outside of Darkside, and like, do you have a long history of RP and junk?
Not necessary. I've done like some cosplaying. Actually, I used to dress up as the 10th Doctor. People, women like
Well,
that. And I did like steampunk. And then recently, me and Leo went to the 1920s Speakeasy. It was like immersive theater, and I
yeah,
dressed up like a newspaper boy. And it was actually really cool. It was like everyone pretending to be in like
yeah.
Prohibition era, and
I
yeah, the other that, and then just yeah, I don't know. I prefer RP to FPS.
yeah. I think you shared some pictures of those the speakeasy and stuff in Discord, and those were really cool. I also have done one single cosplay. Um
Oh, what did you do?
uh oh gosh, what's his name? Luffy from One Piece.
Don't know that.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
that anime?
yeah. It's fine cuz I don't watch any of Doctor Who, so I don't know which doctor that is.
I was in the anime club in high school. I went to Fanime actually one
Ooh,
year. I didn't
Fanime.
dress up, but I saw. Yeah, I saw. You see like the interesting, especially when you're still in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, we did badmouth the Navy very briefly. Yeah. Thank you. Um
We both did. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, we have to. That's what it said. So,
I
um
gotta do what my dad does, right? Towards the end of the season, though, you didn't know, but I renamed you to Mr. Mom because I felt it fit better. Which is
that's not I mean, that's fine. That's funny, but not what I was shooting for.
Doctor Mom, Mr. Mom, my pops.
Dang. And grandpa.
Oh, yeah, that was I don't I just that was a total winging moment. I was like,
Yeah.
an old guy.
Did you see the part that happened right before that?
Don't know.
I when we heard Scove, I walked outside and I told him, cuz I was trying to pawn you off. I told him that we were scamming you and he had to pretend to be your family. And we were trying to get money. So when he walked in, he just pretended to be related to you, and I was like, "Sweet, we don't have to deal with Folger anymore."
That's what I love. I just backdoor deals.
Yeah, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Try to get rid of Folger. You got
Dang. Um,
Maybe Folger was trying to swindle you that whole time, though.
I believe it, but that's fine because it made the charity more realistic, so it's whatever. Um, as a character that many people don't necessarily like all the time, um, what do you think are some strategies that people or yourself use to hang out with characters that you or they don't like?
What? No one? People didn't like me?
I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to get
Uh,
at, you know, equality and playing with everyone kind of thing, you know?
yeah. Well, a lot of times, like I wouldn't always talk. I didn't want to be annoying. I didn't want to like steal the show from anyone. A lot of folks would be like flashy in the beginning. Um, I don't. I guess people. I don't know because when I noticed that people like during paint night, was it Thumpy because of that Easter Bunny thing?
Hmm.
She had running away or something. I was like, oh, maybe I should like calm down a little bit or something when I
Yeah.
notice that people are, you can kind of tell sometimes. Oh, maybe I should stop. Or when people say to be quiet when Shrimp Kid told me to go to the corner.
Well, Flutter told you as Vivi to be quiet all the time. So
Yeah, that was um more of I knew it was funny.
yeah.
So I did it because people enjoyed her saying that. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta play." Like people enjoyed her saying "Shut up, Henry." So I'm like, "Oh,
yeah.
I gotta play into that a little bit." You kind of know sometimes, but then you kind sometimes kind of don't.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her saying that. Then she'd say that I would shut up. Actually, I'm very submissive.
Nice. Sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't want to like get her being an admin too. I didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. So that is a question that I have for you that makes you like really different from a lot of people because you stood for like an entire season next to an admin and RP'd like the whole time next to an admin. Um do you think that I mean, we all know they're treated differently, but like how do you think they're treated differently and do you think they can even RP without meta at all?
That's a loaded question. What admins
Yeah.
can RP without meta?
Do you think they can?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, any. I mean, no, yeah. I mean, Flutter's very fun to play with
Yeah.
for start. I mean, I gave her a lot of credit. That's why I named I referred to the cat as Princess V. She's a good lady,
Yeah.
because uh, that was my ode to her in a sense because she's a great person. She does so much for the server. Did I shoot her?
The
Well, no. Hey, the cat. Okay, you know what? I didn't know that was gonna happen.
I tried to fix
No
it
idea.
ahead of
That
time.
was amazing, though.
Dang
I
it.
I did I couldn't count how many lives she still had.
Yeah. you we we could have fixed it, but no. You just abandoned your company. Dang it.
Didn't know how that worked. That was not the first time too, because when I joined Sailor, I just like as I think she was trying to say something else, like, "Are you gonna be allied with us or something?" And then I just left my company. I didn't know
Dang
how
it.
that worked.
So it's happened before, you're
It
saying.
has.
Jeez.
And then my boat was in the Freeport probably for a while.
Oh man. I
Sorry.
I don't think they can play without meta because it's almost like like you can feel people turn and look at them sort of like if someone says something or does something or anything that might be sort of along the edge of the lines, they act differently because that person's standing there versus if they weren't, and they react differently, and they even like I was talking about with Darla, sometimes they'll seek these admins out, because I don't know, they think they're important or powerful or whatever it is. So
I didn't know they were I didn't know they were admins when I joined because I saw the notice, I think in the Freeport, and I was
yeah,
like, this is really creative. Those are the notices in the Freeport I go after. When I saw like that dating thing, I was like, that's so cool. I want I want to be a part.
yeah, you
That's
can.
that's what you got to really appeal like in the Freeport. You got to have a sometimes like I the cat cafe I try to market so well, even though Folger's 13 years old and probably can't write, but that was something else that I I noticed that people don't like when you write horribly.
Yeah, they definitely do not. Yeah, Gob, you can tell because they have a crown next to their name, so it'll be like Flutternib crown.
Yeah, but
But
when I was yeah,
they could
sorry, you
turn that
cut.
off too, which is interesting. But it doesn't matter because we all know your names.
Yeah, but like in the Freeport when they're advertising like it have the dating the sailor
Yeah,
thing. I didn't know they were admins at the time.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
was like,
cool.
that's really
Um, I sort of knew about like what Sailor was doing and stuff ahead of time through meta, but um, I
but it
oh go ahead.
sorry, it is very though intimidating though to talk
Yeah,
to them.
for
Because
sure.
you want to of course kind of like impress them in a sense, but I'm not trying to like, hey, look at me, just like, hey, I'm an RP here too, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's
And
more
I'm
like I
not
don't
trying
want
to,
to look
yeah,
stupid.
worship
Don't look at
or
me, you know? Like
yeah.
well, not just one. There were two admins at that
Yeah,
point, Flutter.
Betty was fun though. I
Yeah.
liked Betty. Betty's World. I
Yeah,
wanted to try to
Betty's
do
great.
that on Folger. That's the the meta you take from the other seasons, I think, as well on your character is your
I everything we did was an ode to the previous season and stuff, but at the same time, like I've said before, it was like an iteration that couldn't have possibly existed back then. So, um that's sort of how
I
we
mean,
made it okay.
Paint Night really brought a community together. I really enjoy. I mean, it's still a highlight. I will always come to Paint Night.
Yeah.
I will always put dinner off to come to Paint Night.
It look, so this paint night wasn't the original idea, but like um Red Dick's Backdoor, Pierre, some of the paintings we did, all that stuff was like a joke from the previous time. The paint night thing, though, I asked you if I could do it, first off. Second off, everything except one of the nights I just made up. So um, the the mannequin thing was something that I was trying to work out for a while and I couldn't really get to, and I still couldn't make it work, but I think it's such a good idea. Um the way you can like stand behind a painting that's down on the ground, but everyone's a different size, so it sucks. I don't know. But like all those ideas I wanted to make completely different than the original paint night. So
That's
um
cool. Yeah.
yeah.
And the Splatoon that's you should totally do that next season.
Uh yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's one of those things where like I've done it and now I'm gonna do some other stuff. You know what I mean? But um, if there aren't major server events that people can go to that aren't Ladies' Night, then yeah, for sure. Um,
Too bad you can't Splatoon on boats that are sailing. Like you would grapple onto the other boat and then paint their boat as much as you can, and then let them
you
go
could do that.
sailing at the
That would
same.
work.
Yeah,
That would actually work
kind of cool actually.
100%. Holy snap! You could do like practice boarding games with stuff
Yeah, and
like
you just
that.
paint the other. You just have all kinds of like open the door. You have all the doors open. You just got to go down in there and have next season. There you go.
To do that, we could do some of the islands have like big bays and stuff. We could make like a no, no, no. This would be like a game. Like we have two schooners that just sail around, and yeah, yeah. Each one is a different team, like red team and blue team, and you're just like playboarding as a team to like try and paint the other one. That's just the idea.
Yeah, not to vandalize. Like Folger accidentally got in trouble and vandalizing your the horns when you quiet.
Yeah, I was like, dang it, I worked so hard on those. Oh well. Um, back to I guess what we're actually here for. Um, you. So I guess this season's a little bit different, but um, definitely on Henry, you played this like sort of big dynamic character, but you did it in short amounts of time. Because you had dinner or whatever you were trying to do. Do you have any tips for people who are trying to play these larger than life characters but only have say 2 or 3 hours to try and do all the stuff?
Yeah, probably just um maybe have a plan when you go into the game, like, hey, I'm gonna do this today, and then see what's around and not go sailing, probably. Don't get into anything serious.
Yeah.
Um, unless you have the time and like, hey, like, um, I would sail sometimes by myself. I got reverse pirated once. I got better sails. It was like a godsend because then I was really sailing. And yeah, it was that time where I think because that's when I had the steering wheel in the front of my boat, which so it makes so much more sense to me. I don't understand. How do you say? How do you
Thank
see?
you. Exactly.
Uh, and then I couldn't hear them yelling from behind, and they rammed my boat because I was going so slow.
Oh
And then they
man.
eventually showed up to paint night, and then Henry was like, "Oh yeah, you're the lady. You can drive. That's why I got in trouble for like women who can't
Right, yes.
drive
Oh
and
man, that
stuff."
whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
the wheel on
yeah.
the front is weird, but it also makes sense. So I don't know. It's a preference
What
thing.
were they doing back then in the back of the boat?
You
Why
can't
the
see
steering wheel in the
anything. Yeah.
back? I know. What were they? No wonder they're beaching their boat all the time.
Yeah. Um. True. Oh man, I have so
Yeah.
many
So yeah,
questions.
prioritize your time if you only have a few because that's a lot of it. I mean, I have to take care of I'm like a home caretaker, homemaker sort of thing
Yeah.
here. So I have to sometimes just or I'll get up. I mean, I'll have to go FK up or something sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah, just prioritize your time. I mean, a lot of times I can play at night though when not a lot of people are on. Though I'll be up at like 1 a.m. or something,
Yeah.
and then I can that gives me time though to like kind of dick around on an island and explore and scout sometimes and
Yeah.
what I'll do in the future, like when I have that 2 to 3 hours, I can go there and this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not necessarily planning ahead of time. It's just I guess understanding your limit and doing whatever fits there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't I mean because no one you don't want to get into something big and then always there emergencies happen, but
Yeah.
you don't have to go to sleep if you're like a prisoner or something. You want to be able to RP that out,
Yeah.
especially for the other people that are there as well.
Um. How then do you think we should all balance the realism? Because I felt like Henry was pretty realistic and the fun aspect of RP. Because Folger seems pretty fun. Not that he wasn't realistic, but I mean, you know, what do you think the balance should be?
Sorry, what was that question again?
The balance between realism and fun in your characters in an RP?
Um. Oh. Yeah. Well, like Henry, I tried to like when he got his hand, I did some research on like prosthetic, like how does that take it off? How do you like the rubbing of the numb and stuff? Whatever how they moisturize and whatnot. I was like, I should probably if someone asked me this question, like what do you do? I'm like, I gotta have an answer. Then for a while, I think me and Vivi were talking about moisturizers and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know, it got weird. And then people would ask me about the phantom limb syndrome, and I think it was Benny that would constantly ask me about like, do you feel your hands not there? Do you still feel it? So I had to like know, you got to have that some of the talk to back it up. You know, you can't. I bullshit a lot though, but I like to have the
No, you? No way.
some real things like I will Folger takes I take things from my childhood all the time and use it in Folger. Like
Yeah.
a lot of like my embarrassing stories are my childhood and I don't mind because it's hilarious.
Yeah. So it sounds like we're erring on the side of realism, even though Folger seems so outlandish. So that's cool.
Yeah, no, he's got I mean, even though I was with Shrimpkin for like a small boat ride, she got a good chunk of like embarrassing things in my life. Even you guys, like the time I think I was talking about makeup. I'm sorry, Shrimpkin. That's the only thing. You're beautiful character.
Yeah.
Like when I was in, I think it was like fifth grade or something. Like I got made fun of a lot because of like acne growing up. Called Pizza Face. I mentioned that once. Bugs Bunny because my front teeth were big, and people are like, "Hey, you look like Bugs Bunny" or something. And then I'm like, "I don't know what that means. It's Folger. They keep calling me Bugs Bunny." And
Wow.
that got fun. We made fun of wearing because I had like really bad acne in like fifth grade, and like my mom put like concealer on or something
Mhm.
to like hide it, and then some girl saw it and like, "Oh, you have makeup on."
Dang.
So I mean, it's like things that it's like those things that keep you up at night. I'll just use these because hey, it's like part of the things that because Folger was he grew up in like the Elvenage and he was kind of he got bullied. They stuffed me in a chest.
Yeah.
And then but the children, like, especially like 13-year-olds, like he's 13, and that age is like I posted a link of the John Mulaney um, sketch of him talking about how mean
Yeah,
13-year-olds are.
for
They're
sure.
just so accurate and how mean how they just take the one thing about you don't like, and
Yeah.
so that was the other thing. I'm like, oh, if he's 13, I can be like a dick because you're a
Perfect.
jerk at that age, and
You're just getting back at
although
everybody. I see.
yeah, yeah, then he was learning, in this work, like everyone is just rude to each other. Like everyone just calling each other. So he's just kind of picking up on that.
Yeah.
Because in Wood Elf culture, everyone's honest. And he was being honest.
Yeah. That's funny. Um on the flip side of that, how do you think um how do you think people show um how much they appreciate, RPing with you? Um what are some things that they do to show that either in RP or outside?
Um, well, you mentioned, I think I think you're one of two people, well, three, I think. B may message me, I'm not sure, but you messaged me, saying about my character,
Mhm.
which I appreciate. I don't do that either. I don't, because I think I'm bothering people. So if people like that, I'll be more than happily to be like, hey, I enjoy your RP.
Yeah.
When people come back to RP, that's good, or when they want to interact with Folger, um, that's always a plus. Folger will sometimes I will go up upon my limbs. I'm maybe too much to want to interact with some people.
Speaking of that, when I assigned you to bring us materials, I I did not like that, and I wanted to continue to RP, but I also wanted to make it like, um, I don't know, that like we were taking advantage of you. So, um, the entire time I was building and you were gathering or whatever you were doing, because I don't even know if you were gathering, but I did see you coming back on the bear. I was trying to think, how can I go ask him questions about whatever needs to happen on the ship? How can I don't know, just find reasons to say things, even though I had just taken advantage of you and assigned you to do stuff. So,
Well,
um,
it was nice to have a bit of a break there because there was a lot going on,
oh, that's true.
and then I would come in and check in on how you were doing every now and then.
Hmm.
Between I think I got like I don't know 10,000 of everything or whatever. I didn't do everything you
Yeah,
asked
no,
because
of
it was like
course.
the end of the season. I was like, ah, fuck it. Because how you as well, I also leech from people because I
Yeah,
don't want to do work either. I just want to RP with people and
yeah,
get however the cat cafe was, RP, and then I would have to find the materials. But I never I tried to RP to try to get the other tomes, but the whole thing with the times and stuff, it never worked out for me. So I would just, just make muffins.
nice. Well, at least we had the muffins.
Yeah, no, that's the cat cafe kind of came to the end. Actually, I'm not sure if you got if this is in your questions, but I'm gonna jump ahead.
That's cool.
when I got when in chat I got a little too I was talking about my dictionary, and I was like all the words that were in it, and I think Ewok was kind of egging me on. Say we know what we taught Folger. And then and then I was like, I was doing like a dick, which I actually came up with on my some words I had to come up with on my own, but the other ones I've learned from what
Yeah.
people said, and then I asked them to define them for me. And that's how a lot of those words came about. And then I triple quadruple sometimes verified, like, hey, this means this, right? With some other people. But oh shit, what was I talking about?
So on those, I read those books. I took them out of that random box. I wasn't streaming at the time, so there's no record. But I did read your dictionary, your assignment homework junk,
I never
um,
got the stuff. Yeah,
and
that
something
was
else, and then I stole them and gave them to Jeffrey. So I don't know if you noticed at the end, but they were gone, and
no.
I don't think he could give them back because they were behind the door that didn't have a lock.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the assignment homework. Yeah, I was gonna go around asking. I did ask people for help with my homework
yeah.
at the free ports. The undead actually, I think it was Kill, stopped me. He's like, or I was trying to read something and they were behind me. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta pay attention now because Folger's probably. Anyways, he was like, you want some money? I'm like, no, but I need some help with my homework. See, now my voice is coming out. Folgers. And then he was like, well, you gotta do that at home or something. Well, I thought you were smart.
Dang.
I was trying to get him to do like my homework assignments. I was just gonna come up with like, I gotta visit every island and write a report about the biomes or something.
Yeah.
I actually researched seventh grade homework. I looked it up on I God
You
what the what the lengths I took on Folger sometime to research
yeah.
seventh and eighth grader homework.
I think you put a lot of work into your character. That's crazy. Like I don't think a lot of people would do quite as much. Even with Henry and like you said researching phantom limb syndrome and stuff like that. Like that's deep stuff. You could just make it up, but you looked
Yeah.
it up, you know? So
Sometimes
that's
I
cool.
would, yeah, as time, I would kind of go along. Even with that urine thing, that was legit.
That is gross.
The yellow, like that's how they make it with it was like mango leaves from like a cow or something. They had to eat the mango. I watched a video a few times about rare dye colors, and that was his thing. Like we make the yellow dye out of urine. And people were so disgusted. No one wanted to eat the food and stuff, and
Yeah. I know because we kept telling them. Um
it
every
was
time we
great.
would sail up before we got off the ship, we would tell them not to eat the food and then they would ask why and then we would explain every single time.
I'm glad I could. Yeah.
Um so I guess Henry is closer to your actual voice. Um
Yeah.
do you think it's easier, not that you did any, but do you think it's easier to do like serious dramatic RP um with a real voice?
I think it. I mean, well, depends on how good you are. I mean, with other voices, but of course, if you're capable of showing emotion on your real voice,
Yeah, that's a
I
good
know
point.
Boxer had like no emotion. That was so hard to gauge sometimes.
Yeah, true.
Um, but like Folger, I tried to do it. I tried to act sad on him. I don't know if it worked. It worked at one. Well, my words worked. The words I put on the paper and sent in the mail worked, but I don't know if Folger himself like. Oh, I'm really. I tried to cry, but I can't do. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh,
I
mom.
I think it's acceptable to if you can't do whatever the emotion is to talk about it. Like, "Oh, I'm so sad. Like, I feel like my chest is so tight or whatever." Like, I think that's totally acceptable.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Mm. You got to work with whatever you got.
yeah.
I mean, no one ever asked Folger why he was sad. I don't think it was really like why are you
No.
so sad. Like
I mean, I
I
didn't,
couldn't
but
care about that. I tried. I wanted to do that. I wanted Folger at one point to be like serious, like like this sad elf that could he. No one wanted him. Like Santa Claus, the whole Santa Claus thing. That actually kind of hurt me in real life. I was like, I gotta log off because that was a hit. You
dang.
know what? And even the Easter Bunny, I was like, wow, like I wanted to sit. Folger just wanted to sit on somebody's lap that was like a mythical, like a mythical, creature, so like Santa Claus, Easter Bunny,
Yeah.
whatever holiday was coming up. Folger just wanted to, and then he got mad. He just wanted the candy out of the Easter Bunny.
100%. If the season had gone longer, we could have done St. Patrick easy. Easy, we could have done it. So maybe next
There's
time.
he actually met a leprechaun in the first area where I lived. That's where on the in the dictionary it says a leper and leprechaun. Like, wondering where that came from. That's from the circus because one of the guys was a leprechaun, and then Folger's like, well, what's a leper?
Yeah.
That circus was amazing. That was I had some even though I met him like once or twice, they had a cool circus tent,
Yeah.
which never got you. It was posted in the screenshots a few times because it was abandoned, and they had like like a zip line that went across for the acrobats, which was also in the dictionary.
Nice.
Um, and along with the ex gymnast, which is supposed to be exhibitionist. A lot of the words are supposed to be other,
Yeah, yeah.
meanings of words. Yeah, since he didn't know how, like he hears it and then he sounds it out. Like a dick is supposed to be addict.
Right.
Someone
Like
who
Svi.
someone who craves something so much that they bother somebody else.
Yeah.
I think it could go for both ways. I just love playing with words. Like if I had to play Arc, I would play I've been or another character. I was thinking about playing that mentalist, John Dice, and he would just go around asking people, you feeling okay today? You're looking a little yellow around the eyes there. You doing okay?"
Oh
Just
my
kind of
gosh.
feed into people. It's like, am I
Just every single person, no matter what
everybody
they look like.
like, or you could just go around with a group of people with like similar illnesses that have like the name spelled out, like go around just like, making people feel bad. Like, am I sick? Like that
Am I
is how
sick?
that's their, instead of weapons, they just use their
Yeah.
plague words.
Okay, okay, okay.
Anyways, yeah.
I have this idea thing, and I wrote it down. Okay, so let's just go there, I guess now, because I don't know where we're going. But I okay. There's a question at the end, but no offense to you personally, and no offense to all of you. I'm only pointing one way. He's actually over here. No offense to you, and no offense to you, but um, I don't like I don't like the huge gaps when we're all talking together. Um because I make clips and I show them to people and I'm like, "Dude, check this out. Check out this whatever." And then there's like a pause cuz I'm literally holding it in my hand like real people on my phone and I'm like, "Check out this clip," right? Someone will say something, big pause, someone will say something else, big pause, third person says something else, right? And it's funny, but that's not how we necessarily talk all the time. So Boxster did it originally because I was trying to make things awkward and uncomfortable and stuff because I don't know, that's what I was going for. Um, yeah, that is the way voice works, but um, when I started with Pierre, I I have a goal in every single conversation. I'm only talking to you because of whatever the goal is, and I'm here to control that the whole conversation. Like if I'm trying to get money, resources, whatever, I'm trying to control the whole conversation. So I'm literally talking the entire time, and even when you're talking, I'm trying to talk so that we can get to whatever it is, right? So yeah, so people will stop talking if you talk. Um, and a lot of the times it was one of us running whatever the conversation is, whatever the job is. Um, I felt like it was me a lot, but just running the whole thing because if multiple people are talking, it's confusing, right? So, but people do that in real life all the time. Um, Do you think you, because of the two characters you've played, um both Henry and Folger, will interrupt people like a lot? No offense. Or talk over them or whatever it is. Do you think you have more control over the conversation and the RP because of your character and, how you talk over people and stuff?
Um, no, because I don't. Yeah, like everyone's saying, I don't want to talk over. So I don't want to talk over somebody. If they have something to say, even in real life, I'm very. I'm a lot quieter, shyer, and I don't want to I'll try to wait my turn. Something, and then like sometimes that will pass you up, and like, oh shit, what I wanted to say was a while ago, and those
Mhm.
conversations, you know, further ahead now. Um, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
So
So I think just saying like yeah or uh-huh or whatever to stay in the conversation the whole time, I think that gives you so much more power. Because when I played Boxster, obviously I was trying to do it, but towards, the middle and end, I had stuff to say the whole time. I wasn't just letting things happen in front of me because I had more power, I had a company, I had whatever. But because of who Boxster was, he didn't guide any conversation, he didn't lead any conversation, and Pierre did it a lot. Um, Even when we would fight and we would just yell at each other, like,
uh,
I don't know.
I remember that's a good idea. I can remember that you doing that. It's popping into my head of all your
And
yeah, yeah,
so people do that stuff in real life, right? When
yeah.
you're talking to someone, they're saying their idea and you're nodding and you're like, "Yeah, that's right." Or, "No, I don't think so." You're reacting with your face and your body, but we can't do that in voice. It doesn't work in the same way that we can't show our emotions as easily with our voice. So, I'm trying to get at the idea of like being real and expressive and that sort of thing. And so when someone talks and I agree, I just say uh-huh. No words, So
Uh-huh. But
Pierre Pierre's a douchebag. But that was the goal. The goal was douchebag. So he talked over people. Do you think people who are that abrasive and abusive and stuff have more control because they're willing to do that? That's the question.
uh, that's a bit right if you put the douchebagness in there. uh, yeah, I guess. I mean, if you're gonna, y that's a hard one because I don't always like being. I don't want to be the center of attention. All
Mhm.
like maybe in the beginning or something. That's how. And then I kind of just I'll be kind of sometimes a wallflower, but not always. I'll just observe and then I'll pick things what people say out of their conversation. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna call him dad or something like that. Uh, wow, it's difficult because it's when you have such a commanding presence like that. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that there are a lot of pirates that are that way. Um and that it's really strange because we all know we're just people behind this mic, right? Um and then you have to be able to control a situation, to gain control of a situation, to decide you're going to rob people, kill people, whatever in the game, and still have this same idea of being equal and the same. Like we're all just people, right? And I think that there's got to be some way for us to be more expressive and like to understand the nuances of just talking to each other and still creating a huge story. So,
Did Pierre ever meet anyone that was like him and talked, you know, over him? Or did you
um,
meet anyone just like yourself that could, you know, go
well,
toe to toe with you?
so only when I pushed Doctor Mom too far. Um,
I like that's her name.
yeah, because like um, Shrimps and I are cool with each other, so like it's I think it was easier for her to say, I know this person isn't really like this, and I can retaliate because that's clearly a character. Even though I think all of us draw on our own junk. So obviously there's a little Pierre in me, but I think that because she was aware, it was easier for her to retaliate. But there were almost no victims um, who attempted to control any sort of situation. It was just I told them whatever was happening. They said some junk. I told them more details over and over and over until I got whatever I was wanting, or I it was clear that I wasn't, you know? So they didn't really control the conversation. They just were there, sort of. I don't know. But had we been legitimate pirates, we would have rolled up on people with guns and stuff, and we would have controlled the situation. We would have talked over people the whole time. So, um, I
Yeah,
don't know.
when you're pirating. Like, yeah, I always just try to give everyone kind of. I don't want to, yeah, steal the show. I want to give everyone equal time to talk, you know, because we're all here to do any yeah, showing emotion. Yeah, I would.
So on
I'm not
emotes,
good with that.
yeah, the emote system is really difficult. There are only two buttons that I know of that you can bind. Um, so you can only have two emotes, right? But when we hung out with the Knights of the Rifle, Scar is really fast and really good at the emote system, pretty much all of them. And when you would talk to Foster last season, you might be able to. I don't know if you can use this whole bar for emotes or not. I have no idea. We'll have to ask Scar because he would do them all, and Foster would like do the pinky thing, and he would salute, and he would agree, and he would do like he would laugh and do all sorts of emotes, and that dude felt real, like
Wow.
really real.
Yeah, I'm able to work on that next time.
Yeah,
I always got him and the other guy confused. I still do.
Mythocles.
I miss him actually. I really enjoyed his character. You know, he had what happened to him? I don't think he was around this season.
They went and played I think Daisy in the in the beginning of the break, and then they pushed into Escape from Tarkov like pretty hardcore. Um, so they were doing a lot of like smaller server RP stuff, testing out different characters and junk like that, and then also playing EFT.
Played that.
I'm
I played Daisy.
sure that they'll be back.
I
Um,
tried Daisy, the voice modulator, and it totally screwed. Like I heard myself on someone else's stream, and it sounded horrible. I didn't even know that. So I'm like, I'm not using voice modulators again. I'm just gonna screw with my voice.
yeah, I think if you don't have someone in the game that you can test with, it's really difficult to make a character who has some sort of modulation thing.
Yeah, I even tried to play GTA on that server with like 300 other people.
Hmm.
But it has like sometimes voice and sometimes not. It's so hard to do with people not talking.
Oof, that is tough.
Me acting like an old man. My guy looked just like George Lucas. Like exactly.
That's awesome. Uh, Geez, I don't know. I'm gonna keep working on this. I don't know what the answer is.
I just want to interject
Yeah.
and say something. I have to give a lot of credit though, even though I mentioned this in chat too. in our little chat, but like 4 or 5 days. Got to give a lot of credit to Shrimpkin for putting up with me and Folger, and I'm not sure she has kids, but you probably get away, play this game, get away, and you have to go deal with a Folger.
Uh-huh.
So she's a good mom,
Yeah.
and it really left an impression on Folger. Actually, if I play him again next season, he'll have that you know that ode, kind of like, oh, I gotta make sure I'm okay. Mom.
I'm sure that next season we'll have a mind wipe, so you won't remember her, and that's too bad.
Um,
Yeah, she has kids.
yeah,
They're older
you're a good
kids.
mom.
You're a good
I'm
mom,
much
Shrimps.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, even when she, that mom voice came out, I was like, oh shit.
I heard. Did you hear Zvi try and like dad voice you? I was like, what is this junk?
No.
Let's just shoot this kid and move on. But yeah, it was when I couldn't build junk because you were in the way. Um, because you were drawing and I didn't know you were drawing, and I was trying to like build a crow area, and Zvi came over and he was like, Folger, come on, let's do some junk, whatever, let's move. And I was like, Zvi, what? Is this your real dad? What is
Oh.
this?
When you told me to go to the corner, and then like other flight, like when I was running on people's ships and going on people's ships, and you're only supposed to do that when they're sleeping. How are you supposed to show appreciation?
Yeah. Well, she mom voiced me a couple times too, I think, so it's fine.
And she's got she's good at that. Yeah, I did remember some things, like her character still didn't wear shoes.
Yeah. She doesn't like
Like, oh,
shoes.
you gotta go to shoe court.
um so you've been here a long time, longish. Well, long time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You've been here a while. Um
Yeah.
how do you think Darkside has changed over the time you've been here?
It's going good. I'm enjoying it a lot. It makes me very happy. My Leah enjoys me. She's like, "Oh, you're so happy when you're playing." Like, yeah, yeah. And I like how things are changing. And there's more opening up. There's like three there was like 3,000 people playing at one point and stuff. That's so
Yeah.
cool for like a free to play server in a sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I should donate too. I will do that. But I would. I mean, I would. Yeah, I should pay like money a month because it's totally worth. Yeah, I
you
mean, like, I'm not. I boost, whatever Discord server. I don't get anything from that, but I mean, I should be, we're
um
playing something that, for what you would think is a subscription based service that isn't. So it's an amazing deal and an amazing community. So everyone is so nice, and things get resolved quickly. The admins do a good job. Um, I mean, I don't participate much in the naval combat, so I'm not there for the salt. So, but I do watch that. I do see that, and I think things. Next season, I'm looking forward to the changes and whatnot.
yeah. For the record though, DarksideRP does have Patreon and you can donate to them. I am not affiliated in any way with that, so that's not me, but they do have it. If you're already
Yeah,
on the
that's
Discord
what.
or whatever, you can find it. But that's not money to me. Heads up, and I have nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah, because I know last season, I'm not sure if they're doing this again season with like you can pay money to
Yeah.
name an island or do the whatever the heck,
Yep.
float Sam junk, or
Goes
because I
towards
want to get an
server
island.
costs. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah, I want some islands. That's because my birthday's coming up. Maybe I'll just spend my birthday money naming islands.
Good call. Yeah, that sounds fun. There are a limited number of islands, so don't go crazy.
Mm.
Um, I don't have super a lot of questions left. Um, Isla Yubnub. That's a good island name. I
Oh
don't know why I
yeah.
put your questions at the bottom. I just want to make sure we hit
Yep,
everything.
yep.
I don't know. I mean, yes, we hit everything. That was really fast.
Yeah, I do things really fast.
That's cool.
That's a problem.
I like I said, I did not know what to expect. I didn't know what crazy thing you might say because I've had a lot of conversations at or near Henry. So I was like, I wonder if it's gonna be like that. But no, it's cool.
No, it's we're not in game, so I'm not. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you want to talk about uh, the cat cafe and how I kind of stopped that. I briefly mentioned about that.
We don't have to go into that one.
I won't say too much. I will keep it PG. Right.
That's from what I understand. That's why you got rid of it in order to keep it relatively PG.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. You grow up um with a lot of stuff that uses that cat sort of the p cat. We'll call it p cat. That's pretty p. Like I'm not. Was there like a cartoon? There's like where they talk about that. There was that movie, the cat in the boots. So I was like, okay, that's probably fine. If I and I was only referring to the cats. I never called anyone by that. I would only whenever I talk to my cats, I would get like close. I would kneel and go, "Oh, did a pretty little kitty cat." I would talk to like the cat as if I was talking to my cat. I would pick up my cat and I would talk. So I would never call anyone that, but I wanted to I didn't want to offend anyone's stream or something. So I was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't say that, even though like some of you guys were saying it towards the end there. So
um, it took me a little bit, but Puss in Boots is the book
yeah,
and movie he was shooting for. I was like, what are you talking? Oh shoot, there it is.
yeah. But didn't they say that or that's the treaty? I thought it's
Yeah.
didn't they say that? I thought I saw a
Hoodie tat for the
hoodie.
record.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but see, stuff
yeah,
like then you Tom Jones. So I was like, that's probably okay.
that's
And then
probably
I was
fine.
like, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
Then I was gonna do some play on words. I came up with this, creative the cats for kids. Come on, how creative is
Yeah,
that? Cars for kids?
yeah.
How annoying is that commercial? And then I had that stuck in my head, and I had to change it. And I was going around the Freeport saying it to people. I was like, "Oh, we got this song, and I'm trying to work on it." I didn't want to use the 877 part. I was like, "Cats for kids, cats, cats for kids. Yeah, donate your kitty today." And then I was trying to get people to help me with my song.
That's awesome.
So, I thought cats for kids was super creative because that would get the people would see that and like, oh shoot, we have to I'm gonna start singing that song. It was even in that show, The Good Place. I think it was like the theme song for like the Hell Place or something. So I mean, and then I tried to experiment a little bit with spelling horribly and sending letters to people
Yeah.
with the words. I browsed. I'm a big fan of the Bone Apple Tea subreddit, so I went on there to try to figure out ways I could spell words horribly or just sounded them out and just kind of oh look at this word, we'll go this word, and then you look at that and then I wrote some letter to I think it was Lydia, uh, the West Virginians.
Hmm.
I love to call them virgins because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You probably can't even say Virgin. And then Shrimp can actually try to get me to say Virginia for a while. She's like, you got just say virgin and then say or something at the end. I don't know. Us Virginia.
Oh man.
Oh, never mind. I think I wrote her a letter. I wrote about my horsey that died, and I wrote horsey as with how a kid would write it with
Yeah.
WHORSIE. I wrote all the other words horribly misspelled. I never got a response. I never even got a free horse from that. I asked for a horse from them, and then I
Your
tried.
Your
Try to tell you
notice
about
was on our board at the stupid bottom the whole season.
it.
I
Yeah,
literally like would come and check to see if it was still there, just to be like, I can't believe that one's still there of all of them.
I'm surprised that no one pulled them down, especially the name of it. I was like, because I was like, oh, it's okay. And then he was even because I was originally going to name it something else,
Yeah.
but that name was taken by an actual cat cafe, which is actually here in the Bay Area. I was like, this is an amazing name, which was the Kitty Cafe, Kittea. Like Kitty, I'm like, that's so creative.
That's a good idea, yeah.
What? I'm gonna have to go there and visit there, but you know, uh, that was that was actually in the flyers. Like, come and enjoy some of our kit teas. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Genius.
But yeah, it was the pee on the perch, because I didn't want to put pedestal because that was like a little bit
Yeah.
too much. So, and then I had some other things in there about don't eat the cats or lick them because I was trying to be vulgar.
Um yeah, the Bay Area. It's in
Yes, the Bay
California, right?
Area. Yeah, I guess
Um
yeah, it's in San Francisco.
I mean, she was from Canada. I wasn't going to be like, "Oh yeah, you know
Yeah,
this place," but
the
um
Canadians.
I don't have I have a dog who has arrived. I'm going to take him out, I guess. I have another interview after this. So, this will be the first time that two of them go back to back.
You want me to
So
entertain everyone for a little bit here?
no. No. I don't know what'll happen.
No, I'll
Um
keep it. We'll just.
no.
It's been PG so far.
It
I'm pretty
has
good.
been, but I don't know.
I'm
No,
not gonna
because
get you in trouble.
I have to prep OBS for someone else whose name is Scove.
You're just trying
Um
to get me off of here. You don't want
no.
to talk anymore. I thought this was like I had saved time. I'm not even making dinner tonight. You know, someone else has to cook it.
Wait, I just to be clear, we've been talking for almost an hour and a half. Um
Really?
yeah,
I thought it started at 3:30. It was like an hour and 15.
hour and yeah.
I just wanted to make sure if there's something else I wanted to say because now I have the time to
Yeah,
do it.
do it.
Uh,
Well, do you have anything to say to the almost 7,000 people who are registered on the forum and currently in Darkside?
yeah, I was thinking about that, and then I forgot what I was going to say. Hey, you know what? How about you come back to me? You take your dog out and come back to me and think about that question.
All right, I'll give you a little time. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, because
Let
it's
me see if I could do that.
play
Give me
that, you know.
hold on. I'm gonna change my Oh wait, I have an AFK thing. Just like a little text. I don't know what's gonna happen. This scary. Don't look. I haven't been affiliated for super a
I'm
long
not gonna.
time,
I'm not
so let's not get me non-affiliated. By the way. What does this say? I'm gonna change this text to. My gosh. Um.
Sorry.
All right. This.
All right.
I'm okay. So I'm taking off my headphones. I can't hear you anymore. Hold on. Don't say anything. Say anything. Oh my gosh. I'm turning
Nope.
off my mic. Oh my god.
He- He's a good looking guy. You know, got to give him credit for what he does for the community. These interviews are hard, so good job. He'll listen to this later if it's even working, right? Wait, can you hear me? Oh, it's oh, hey, hey, Uh, hey, Pops. Uh, um, and, it's my Dr. Mom. She's here. I'm not going to get him in trouble. No. I was talking before he left that he should do a talk show, but, because there's things at the end of the season that I suppose there's so many people and you watch streams or there's things that you want to know, but, I don't know. No, I'm not going to do that. P. You come on here and do it. He's probably watching on his phone. I would. I've always been curious what his real name is actually, or what he looks like. Okay, he looks like a James. I'm a Steven with a V. Although I could look, could look like a PH, but that's kind of a more of a. Yeah, James Bryan. These are all we also be giving him names for his future characters. James Bryan. Yeah, I'm not that. This is what would be like streaming, right? Maybe and just talking like about my cats. Oh yeah, thanks for everyone for all the RP you provided. Um, you all did a good job. I'm thank you for putting up with me and my Folgerness or myselfness. Sorry if I offended anyone. I don't mean to. Because I spent I don't we didn't touch on this and he's not here to hear this, but I had to take a break in the middle of the season because we had a family member that was in the hospital from a very rare cancer, like not a rare, but very aggressive cancer that she was young and it was very unfortunate. Um, so I had to kind of take a break in the middle and help um, the family out here so that everyone was kind of a lot better. So there was a while I couldn't play, and I didn't really feel like I wanted. It was a it was a bad time. So I only came on I think to feed my cats. And towards the end of the season, I saw that paint night was happening, and I was like, oh hey, and I saw the I think Jeff put a notice on my raft. I was like, okay, now I have the information. I can actually go there, but I could have gone there before. So yeah, and actually, I was trying to join Furclad for a little bit because I wanted my face to be painted. And then I actually wanted to join the cat house in the beginning because everyone was like, hey, the cat house would be a great fit for you. And it would have been, I thought. I actually watched the stream. I actually wrote a really sad letter to Juicy Fox about how I sailed such a long time and I'm here for try to find a family. Santa Claus was there and he told me he's not the real Santa and no one wants me or something and he wouldn't let me sit on his lap. And then I watched her stream and I was looking through like a video and then at that moment I got to the right point and she was talking about my letter and how she was so sad and stuff and how I'm like a master manipulator. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of noticed that during the paint night. That's probably not, I should probably just roll with you guys. And because Folger, I was going to try to play to Folger's kidness. Like, I was going to try to go to the docks and beg for people. Like, I'm just a poor orphan, I don't have any money, give me some money. And like, oh, I got money. This is my first time doing Kid RP. So I was, I know some things now. I won't be, if I do it next season, I won't be as vulgar, but I'll probably just play to um, some of the things. Not as stupid, I guess, as he'll probably have to learn words because people don't like that. Yeah, I think as you play, you learn things that people don't like and what people do like, and you kind of gotta take that with your character. You know how the RP goes. So it's my big thing. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to make anyone uh, disappointed or like think I have a. Oh, hey James, how you doing?
What?
What's your name in real life?
I'm not telling you.
You're thinking like I thought James, and then he was thinking Brian. I'm Steve. I'm a Steven with a V.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I
We were just talking. I was just mentioning how I was very happy with everyone that they did, and then just some things about my character, and then my mid season break.
gotcha.
Why the break?
Well, I for the first time ever will have to watch my own VOD um to figure out what happened. Um Shrimpkid does know my real name. That is true. Um but
Aaron.
I don't think our names are important. No offense to people who call other people their real names, but I mean, like, if you know me through all of this stuff as Heart, then that's who I am. Like, if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? So
I just sometimes when you look at you scroll down, you look at the info. People sometimes put their name on there and be like, oh hey, hey, whatever your name is. I
Jad,
don't know.
it's Jad.
Ugh, typical.
um,
I grew up next to a Chad. It was so so stereotypical.
yeah. So, um,
Chad.
do have another interview. I am gonna end the stream and start up a
Yeah.
new one, so it has a new
Okay.
name.
And I'm just getting everyone in here for the next interview.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just I'm the
No, thank you for your time. Thank you for all the
opening
stuff you did
act.
with us and all of that junk.
Soldier.
Like, you're real cool and it was fun.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate. And thank you for having me and adopting me because it was really boring by myself.
Okay. Play with your friends from now on.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Well, I made friends in all of you guys because
Yeah, true.
I didn't have anyone before I joined, or I mean BB and all of them were. And then I met you guys during paint night, and I really I'm I'm happy to have friends. Nice to have friends. Thank
Thank you, Flutter. We'll just thank Flutter for bringing us all together
you.
over
Yeah,
and over
thank
again.
you for paint night.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you
for
for
Paint
everything.
Night.
Thank Ben and everyone and everyone Flynn. Ben. I don't know all the admins and you too, Mister
Okay.
Haverheart.
My pleasure. By the way, don't say anything stupid for a little bit, because apparently after you end stream, it just keeps going for a little bit. So heads up.
I'll just go.